for Juliette. This is Professor Suwak. Thank you for allowing me to grade your essay by speaking with it. Well, it's obvious that you did the best job you could with kairos in the beginning sentence. And then you go on, I've already read the essay, you go on to make your case that Twang's argument that millennials are more narcissistic doesn't hold up very well. One thing that it's not clear in your essay, maybe you did research this, but you didn't make it clear in your essay that you did. You didn't make it clear if Twangy researched narcissistic adults age 25 in 2010 compared to narcissism in the same age group 1990. I kind of think she did. So some of your complaints about her overgeneralizations might be a little bit weakened by that omission. Your second paragraph, you say, since Twangy is mainly basing her conclusion off of surveys taken by young adults, it should be basing her conclusion on surveys, not off of. She ends up overgeneralizing as most adults are not like that. Did she say that most adults are narcissistic? Again, that part is unclear. Next paragraph, you do make the point when you say, how can that be measured? You say it's certainly something she could make a conclusion about based on what she observed, but she did not claim any hard evidence. That is a very good counterclaim about her what you call overarching statement about how the housing market crashed. Very good counterclaim there. Next paragraph, you talk about the charts in the Daily Mail, traits such as self-confidence, motivation, and leadership abilities. These traits have become higher over the years, but that does not mean that narcissism is skyrocketing. When you use a metaphor such as skyrocketing, it's not useful. What do you mean? What are the numbers? Tell me exactly what the numbers are. Don't say they're just not that big. Clear numbers will be more helpful than that. Next paragraph, you have a really good idea for a counterclaim to show that rates of philanthropy have not dropped. So you make a very good conclusion there. I would have liked to see the next paragraph talk about rates of volunteer work. And I think that would have strengthened your argument because those rates have gone up as well. 2 paragraphs down says when someone is being relied on, it motivates them. Them is plural, and someone is obviously singular, so that's a small and common grammar error. It motivates them to work harder instead of being so focused on getting the work done so they can do whatever brings them pleasure and comfort. A little bit clunky syntax, unusual for you. Your basic idea here in this paragraph is that people in their younger 20s are going to be seen as narcissistic because they are not yet parents or become parents later. That does make sense. I think a counterclaim to yours would be, well, evidence of their narcissism is that they are getting married later and having children later, and that more people are not having children at all, maybe partly due to their narcissism. That would be the counterclaim to yours, but I'm not going to hold it against you for not you're the context of your essay, you're only limited to 1,000 words, but just wanted to point that out. Next paragraph is really short, one sentence. People can perceive millennials as more narcissistic than the previous generations because millennials are getting married later and marriage lessens narcissism. It made sense until the last 4 words. It said, and marriage lessens narcissism. You should have begun another sentence. Marriage lessens narcissism, comma, therefore, or semicolon, therefore, this trait will dissipate for the millennials in their early 30s. Something like that. You then use a personal example. Again, one problem with your essay is that you never explain exactly what narcissism is. or the definition that Twenge is giving, I don't think that that really your personal example applies, because you're not a narcissistic person. So it's not as if you would behave narcissistically in other contexts, but you happen to because of this group project. So that example didn't work for me. I like the idea that you were going to try a personal example or something that you've observed, but I don't think that one rang true because you're not a narcissistic person, as far as I know. One thing I do like in the last few paragraphs, it's very clear that the voice is yours. You're not just taking ideas from others and making it sound like you. These clearly are your ideas. You've thought these through, and that's why your grade is going to still make an A. It's a low A because of the errors I pointed out, but an A nonetheless. Thanks. You can let me know in class, by the way, if you like this way of receiving feedback instead of me writing comments. Thanks.